welcome to another episode of It's All Good. I'm Morgan Babineau. Today is Memorial Day, and we'll start this week's segment with a list of events going on today aimed at honoring those brave men and women who made the ultimate sacrifice. In Lake Charles, hundreds of volunteers gathered this morning to help set up flags for the display at the Avenue of Flags. The Avenue of Flags, now in its 41st year, is a stunning display of patriotism and is the largest display of memorial flags in the United States. The flags are flown on both sides of the graveled roads winding through Orange Grove Graceland Cemetery on Broad Street. The flags were raised at sunrise and will be retired at 5 p.m. just prior to sunset. And in DeRidder, you can join VFW Post 3619 for VFW Day of Service. The Post is hosting a community service event today from 6:30 in the morning until 3 p.m. in conjunction with the VFW's month-long focus devoted to service projects around the country. This event is open to anyone in the community that would like to participate. A memorial walk called Carry the Load was held last week at Port Wonder. The nonprofit honors fallen military and first responders. The walk started in 2011, and their mission is to restore the true meaning of Memorial Day. The event has grown into a nationwide movement that empowers friends and loved ones of the fallen to experience healing.
Restore the true meaning of Memorial Day and honor the sacrifices made by the men and women, our military veterans, first responders, and their families.
The money raised goes on to assist with challenges facing service members, veterans, and their families. Since the walks began, Carry the Load has raised over $46 million. And shifting gears now, after years of different ownership, the old LeBlue Lakes RV Resort will now be home to some familiar faces. KPLC's Omar Martinez has more on the return of Jellystone Park.
I'm here with my friends Cindy, Yogi, Boo Boo, and park member Holly. And as you can hear behind me, it's a party here at the new Jellystone. And are we all excited?
We're all very excited over here at the park today.
Picnic baskets are no longer safe at the former LeBlue Lakes RV Resort as Yogi Bear and friends have set up camp.
Used to come here with my kids whenever they were young for Halloween. We'd rent a cabin, and you know, we made some great memories out here. So I'm very happy to be able to be a part of bringing this park back to life.
The resort will include new and upgraded amenities such as mini golf, pools, water slides, a water obstacle course, and live entertainment. The resort will also offer cabins for multi-day stays as well as day passes for families just wanting to enjoy the amenities. Vadrine and parish officials hope the resort will boost local tourism.
Right off the interstate, close easy access from Lake Charles to Moss Bluff. We're going to bring in a lot of tourism dollars to the area.
A lot of reservations that we have coming in are from people that are living, you know, an hour or two away.
And the party is not stopping anytime soon as the park is now open and accepting reservations. So come on down, and also don't forget your picnic baskets. Is that right? Mm-hmm. In Lake Charles, Omar Martinez, 7 News.
Sure looks like a great time. Well, a big donation from a local business. Westlake Corporation employees have donated $760,000 to the annual campaign of United Way Southwest Louisiana. United Way representatives say this contribution will help them meet our community's diverse needs across the 5-parish area. United Way will focus on critical areas such as youth opportunity, financial stability, healthy communities, and community resiliency. The Sulphur Animal Shelter now has a new building to house their animals. Operating out of temporary shelters since Hurricane Rita in 2005, they now have a permanent place to board animals. The new animal control building can hold a max of 28 animals, 14 kennels for dogs, and 14 cages for cats. Included in the upgrades are a welcome area, a kitchen, and 4 new offices for staff.
With the new one, it's more appealing for our community and for the citizens of it, and it's also going to really help us out with our adoption program as well that we have.
And speaking of adoption, the new shelter is open for residents to come out and adopt a new furry friend. The McNeese LNG Center of Excellence has been under construction for a while now off of Sale Road, but now it will be even more. McNeese will also have what's called the National Center of Excellence for LNG safety in Lake Charles. Safety is an important issue for the public and those involved in the industry. McNeese President Wade Roos says it's going to be a game changer for the area.
We had started what we were going to call an LNG Center of Excellence a while back, as we wanted to do workforce development for the current industry that's in our region. About that same time, there was a federal movement to have this sort of LNG Center of Excellence of safety, and so we made a play to consolidate that to sort of a super center of LNG, if you will. By having PHMSA on our campus, we have a federal regulator on our campus.
Though it's still under construction, it's hoped the center can be opened within the next few months. Caught Up is a coastal listening project, an art and history exhibit designed to capture the beauty and usefulness of the Louisiana coast. It opened Friday, and Stephanie Obadiku spoke with the creator of the project and other artists involved.
It's an exhibit you can experience with your eyes and your ears.
Over the ship channel at night, it blows you away.
The project Caught Up was designed by artist and director Victoria Bradford Strabicki. She says the inspiration for it comes from her family.
Started about 2 years ago when I was gathering family stories from my oldest aunt, and she told me about my grandfather who wove his own fishing nets attached to his big toe, and it got me inspired to think about that practice of kind of disappearing art of weaving your own nets.
It invites you to use most of your senses to get a deeper understanding of Louisiana's coast.
When you approach any one speaker, you hear a singular voice, and you can really engage with it in a way that you can listen and start to hear a story, a personal story.
She invited multiple artists to participate, like Robbie Austin. He says after looking through the documents and other findings, he was able to come up with his pieces.
That most of the interviews were saying the same thing: community, faith, misunderstanding. There was so much of it coming from all different directions, but really circling around the same desire to understand each other and be one.
The director also invited an artist outside of Louisiana to create a piece for the exhibit. Christina Murphy is an artist from Minnesota who used the stories of these coastal workers to create her piece.
And she showed me a picture of this hoop net that had this shape, and I said, I'll try to do that. How big do you want it? And she's like 15 feet tall, about 5 feet round, and I'm like, okay. I don't think I've ever made anything that big before, but I'll give it a go.
The exhibit invites visitors to experience Louisiana's shifting coastal identity through the voices of its people and those inspired by the Bayou State. In Lake Charles, Stephanie Obadiku, 7 News.
And that exhibit runs until August 9th at the Historic City Hall Art and Cultural Center in downtown Lake Charles. And it's graduation season. There have been many celebrations over the past couple of weeks, one of which was for SOELA students. 375 graduates walked across the stage to accept their degrees. Among the students was Allie Richard, who not only earned an associate's degree from SOELA, but also her high school diploma from DeQuincy High School. Congratulations to each of the graduates, and best of luck in the future. Sulphur High Leadership Enrichment and Development, or LEAD, students have been working on a project since August. The project is aimed to bring the downtown cultural district of Sulphur some much-needed TLC. Woodside Energy gave a $20,000 donation to the group so students could work on a project of their choice. They used the money to bring new street signs marking the cultural district, as well as banners, a mural, and planters scattered throughout downtown Sulphur. One student talks about seeing this project finally come to fruition.
This is a neglected area of Sulphur, and it doesn't get a lot of attention, so to be able to help out just this little bit and hopefully get the ball rolling on what will hopefully grow into a bigger project is a good feeling. And it was nice having to learn all of these different skills that people and leaders of communities have to do every day.
Aaron Quinn with the Downtown Sulphur Business Association says this is only the beginning of hopefully more beautification projects in downtown Sulphur. 3 weeks ago, an Englishman found himself in southwest Louisiana after his sailboat, the Acid Rain, beached on the Cameron shore. Fast forward to last week, and he's one step closer to getting his boat back afloat. Omar Martinez has more.
A few days ago, I think I was kind of digging there with a shovel, and then with no hope at all. And then within a few days, suddenly this whole thing had been orchestrated.
Ever since Alex Carter arrived at Johnson Bayou, he had one mission on his mind: to salvage what was left of his boat and continue sailing the sea.
So I never imagined when I arrived here, sleeping in my car a couple of weeks ago, that I would have a second family here.
The Terrys were heading back to their Sulphur home from Texas, but bad traffic made them take the alternate route through Cameron Parish. This is when they got a call from one of their Johnson Bayou friends who had run into Alex.
We pulled into her driveway, met Alex, and bonded with him immediately. By the next day, he was cooking in our kitchen. We have a really good connection with him, and he's got a really soft heart.
Over the past couple of weeks, the Terrys, along with many people across Southwest Louisiana, have helped Alex get his life back. A local tree service company and Alex's newfound friends gathered bright and early to help load acid rain onto a trailer.
It's incredibly complicated, incredibly in depth, because right now we're fighting the tide as well. And it's not a simple process.
Once loaded, the vessel will head to Lake Charles for repairs, and while Alex will soon get back to exploring the world, he'll always have a home in Southwest Louisiana.
We love you, Alex. Can't wait to see how things transpire with acid rain. You've been a real blessing to us.
And we'll have a spot of tea on you.
In Johnson Bayou, Omar Martinez, 7 News.
And in good sports news, 10 talented athletes from Southwest Louisiana were over in Hammond this weekend at Southeastern University competing in the 2025 Summer Louisiana Special Olympics. Jessica Corville, Cecile Rock, Aiden Weber, and Jordan Jacobs were 4 of the athletes that put their skills to the test. The games began on Friday and wrapped up yesterday. Among the sports offered, track and field, basketball, and hockey, which you can see on your screen right now. Congratulations to all of the competitors. And moving on now to our 7 sports person of the week, Devin DeStefano brings us down the street to catch up with the state champion St. Louis Catholic tennis team.
The St. Louis Catholic boys tennis team has been on a tear in recent years, winning their 5th consecutive team state championship this season.
It's been a tremendous run for us. There's probably 3 ingredients to it. One is the kids are terribly talented when they come to the program. We have immense support from our school and from our parents. And finally, we try to set a goal at the first of the year to win a state championship, and we work hard to achieve that. I mean, they just don't come. We have to work pretty hard for it, and we did this year.
The team's success didn't just end with the state title. Connor East and Carter Brinkman took home the double state championship as well. On their way to victory, the duo didn't lose a single set throughout the tournament, and that pressure to perform brought their play to another level.
You have a lot of pressure on you when you don't lose a set. You don't just want to go out and think you're going to win automatically and then lose. It's like you have to keep cool and stay calm, and just passing everything just makes it better. It's kind of like led to us playing amazing in the finals and winning it.
Brinkman had fallen short in the quarterfinals the past 2 seasons with different playing partners, but this time around, he found his perfect match.
We're friends, like on and off the court, so, we just have fun on the court together, and I think we just play well together.
We just like playing with each other, and I have a big serve, and he's good at the net. It's just kind of like a doubles tactic.
With your sports persons of the week, Devin DeStefano, 7 Sports.
And lastly, the McNeese Rodeo team is ready to get back on the saddle as they prepare to compete in the College National Finals. We caught up with them to learn more.
Usually I'm on the court or the field, but today I'm swapping it out for the bucking machine, so let's give it a try.
Actually, on second thought, let's leave it to the experts. The McNeese Rodeo team is preparing for the College National Finals.
I'm excited for them. I believe in these guys. They work hard. What we do on a weekly basis is 10 times harder than going to a rodeo and getting on a horse. So they're ready. They'll be ready mentally, and that's the biggest thing is if you're ready mentally.
The team will be competing in the saddle bronc and bareback events, as well as goat tying, as they look to ride their way to their 6th national championship team title.
Man, it's just a blessing to get a chance to go, but like Coach was saying a while ago, that chance is not enough for us. We're here to be the world champions, and that's our goal, each and every one of us.
For some, the lights might be too bright on the national stage, but when these cowboys are behind the chutes, there's only one thing on their mind.
when you get behind the bucking chutes and you get that fire breathing, dragging, running in the chute, and they're just breathing through their nose and they make that noise, you're not really thinking about who's watching.
Worrying about who's watching has never been a concern for this team. Coach Justin Browning instills a hard-nosed mentality. Their team motto is built, not bought.
I never owned a horse before I came over here, and I just thought it'd be cool to come try and rodeo, and he built me up from the ground, you know. So I am the essence of built, not bought. I'm proof of it, and we have plenty of people that are proof of it, you know.
We don't, shrug our shoulders and mope because we're going to have to do that. We get to do that. We get the opportunity. We're blessed for that. So we take it on headstrong and go 100% all the time.
So clearly I'm not the best at this, so we're going to leave it to the McNeese Cowboys, who are preparing for the College National Finals coming up in June.
All right, Devin, yeah, I wouldn't quit your day job if I were you. But you can kick off each week with good news by tuning in Mondays at 11, streaming on Roku, Apple TV, Fire Stick, or wherever you stream 7 News. And if you have some good news that you feel should be highlighted, email me at morgan.babineau@kplctv.com. Have a great week. I hope it's all good.